What's up guys, Alec here, and today I'm going to use Instagram Insights and I'm going to show you how I use them to optimize my growth on Instagram. So Instagram Insights is something I always used to avoid in the past because it never gives you a yes or no answer. It's always up to you to judge it to see if something works or not. You can't just look at the insights and all of a sudden understand why your post didn't get as many likes. There's always so many different factors when it comes to the Instagram Insights. But in this video, I'm going to show you what I look at and how I look at it, and hopefully you can learn something from that. So I'm just going to jump right in to take a look at the insights, and I'm not going to show you every single feature within the insights, but I'm going to show you the ones I look at and how I use them. So obviously I'm going to start with the most obvious ones, which is the followers activity, and this helps you with posting times. Oh, and by the way, you do need to be a business account on Instagram to be able to access the insights, and to be a business account on Instagram, you need to connect your account to a Facebook page. That being said, let's get started. So once I'm in the insights, the first thing I do is under the activity tab, I scroll down and just take a quick look at the discovery. I scroll down to discovery and I tap on the blue bars, and this will show me how much reach I got on each day for the past week. Now I tend to just quickly look at this one because this one can vary a lot depending on how much you post, whether you post once a week or if it's multiple times a day. The next thing I do is then I go into audience and scroll all the way down to the bottom. Once I'm here, I look to see the peak times for each day of the week. Now for an account like my bedroom goals, I post every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. This means that every time I post, I'll come here and quickly have a look to see what times are the peak times of that day. Now obviously when I post multiple times a day, there are going to be some times that I'm not going to be posting in the peak times, but that's not too much of a problem. If you don't post every single day, switch to the day tab and then have a look which day is best for you. For example, if I posted once a week, here I would post on the Tuesday, and then I would go back to my hours and have a look at what time I should post on a Tuesday. And I always try to aim it so I get maybe 1 or 2 hours before the peak times. So here the peak time is 6 PM on the Tuesday, so I'd aim to post around 4 PM, maybe 3 PM because the activity is still quite high then. The reason you want to post your content at peak times is because that's when your audience is more likely to engage, which will give you more likes and comments, which is then going to favor your content to be pushed by Instagram. So now that we've looked at the followers activity, the next thing I like to do is look at the content. So if I go under the content tab, look at the feed posts and then tap see all, I look at the high performing content. What I like to do is I like to look at it for the number of impressions, then the amount of engagement, and then I also like to look at it for the amount of reach. And when it comes to this, I tend to favor impressions over reach. This is because reach is the amount of single accounts the content has hit, and impressions is the amount of times the content has been seen. So I like to look at it this way. If my content has been seen 50,000 times by 50,000 separate accounts and I get 100,000 impressions, that means that people have maybe looked at the content twice because they thought it was intriguing or it caught their eye. So I like to think that that is good content. Now what I also like to do when having a look at the content is to make sure that I switch the time frame to, let's say, 7 days, so I can see what's been working in the past 7 days. Then I do the past 30 days, I can then see what's been working within the past month. So if I take a quick look and I have a look at my content from the past year on this account, I can see that the top posts, there is quite a bit of subtle pink in them and that there are a lot of fairy lights in them. And this is the content that does very well on this page. So this is the content that I'll try and find and curate for my page. And then this is the reason why I go back to check how the activity is doing within the past 7 days, so I can see if it's still the same thing. And as you can see here, the content that's been doing best has still got a bit of pink in it. So I like to think that it's still working. So I think it's good to check what content works, but also to make sure you check what content has been working for your account recently. This way you can keep pushing out content that you know your followers are enjoying. So when I check content, I also like to have a look at my stories. So the only thing I tend to look at when it comes to my stories are the amount of votes I get on a poll or a slider bar. So I tend to look at the engagement I get compared to the amount of views the story got. This is so I can tell what kind of polls my audience like. For an example here, I can see that the stories that were polls, where I was comparing 2 bedrooms, were getting the most interaction. So that is what I'm going to keep doing with this account. Again, you should be doing the same thing. Just take a look at the account that's been having the most views and interactions when it comes to your feed and your stories, and just look at what's been working and then just keep repeating the same kind of content. And then finally, what I like to do is just have a look at the amount of profile visits I've been getting. This is because when I do put out engaging content and content that people like, if they see it on the explore page, they're very likely to tap on that content and then tap on the profile to take a look to see if this account has more of this content. If you follow me on Instagram at Alec Lifestyle, this is the reason why I've just started putting out animations. This is because I think that these animations are going to be very intriguing and it will bring people more to my profile compared to just the pictures of me. So I'm going to start putting out more animations like this, and I'm hopefully going to get more profile visits. But yeah, so that's how I look at my Instagram insights. The thing I look for the most is the engagement over followers. I always try to look and see what content works and is getting the most likes and comments compared to how many followers I got from a specific post. This is because at the end of the day, the amount of engagement you get is more important than the amount of followers you have. So that's pretty much the video for today, guys. If you thought this video was helpful and you learned something, please hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. And I would like to know how you use Instagram Insights. If you use them the same way as I do, or there's a technique that I didn't mention, please let me know in the comment section below. Again, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out.